Quiet Place 2 has finally come out. It's been over a year since it was supposed to come out. I just uploaded my review for the first one. I think it's a damn masterpiece. I love it. But if you want to hear all my thoughts on it and why I think it's a masterpiece, check out that review and then come right back here. This is going to be a much shorter review because this is going to be as spoiler-free as possible. So I'm going to not go into too much detail about it. So let's just jump right into it. What's the plot synopsis for A Quiet Place Part 2? Following the deadly events at home, the Abbott family must now face the terrors of the outside world as they continue their fight for survival in silence. Forced to venture into the unknown, they quickly realize that the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats that lurk beyond the sand path. So this is once again directed by John Krasinski, who did Part 1, and this is following right after Part 1, and it even has a bit of a prequel opening. And so that would be one of my first likes. So let's just jump right into that. What are the things I liked about this movie? I like the whole prequel sequel angle, the whole, let's tell you the prequel story and then also tell you the sequel. So instead of wasting a whole movie on a prequel and then one on a sequel, we kind of got the best of both worlds in one package here, where the first 10 minutes or so is the prequel. They show just enough to show what happened on day one, and we see the aliens come out of the sky. I thought that was cool to show what day one looked like for this Abbott family, and then to cut forward back to the end of Part 1, and it picks up the same night that Part 1 ended. So that's awesome. That makes it good for a back-to-back watch. If you want to marathon these in the future, you can watch 1 and 2 back-to-back, and it would be perfect. It's kind of like Halloween 1 and 2 and all these other franchises. It's good. Great continuity. And not only because it's, the story having great continuity, they could have focused on any other family and, went even further into the future in this world, but they chose not to. We're focusing on the same family, the same day that the first one ended, at the same locations, and the same music also. The music cues in this movie, I recognized them immediately from Part 1, and the same actors playing the same characters. They didn't recast anybody. I thought that the CGI and the aliens was improved in this one. That was one of my only slight quibbles with the first movie, was that there were some shots of the aliens that looked a little too CG, but in this one they actually looked pretty cool. And this one, just like Part 1, is filled with lots of tension, just lots of good nail-biting scenes where multiple things are going wrong. We got these characters over here dealing with this, while these characters over here are dealing with this, and it's just constant tension. And I love when they go to the daughter's hearing, we hear what she hears, and they just drain all the noise out. I thought that stuff was pretty awesome also, and we got great performances once again across the board. I think everybody does a good job here. Even the kid actors were great, and I loved seeing John Krasinski in the prequel opening. We got to see more of him, and just having the baby in here now, that was born at the end of Part 1, really adds to the tension, ups the stakes. Now they have a baby they could lose. It needs oxygen. They have to keep using these tanks, and they can run out. Stuff like that. Just great. Smart writing. But as for my nitpicks and negatives, things I didn't really care for in this movie is some of the writing with character decisions. I had some questions for what, some of the decisions in this movie were pretty stupid. Especially from the son. The son did one or two things that really just kind of pissed me off. The son makes a couple of really dumb decisions, and there's a scene on the dock that confused me because I'm not understanding what's going on there exactly, what the motivations are from certain people, because they can't talk. All these people can't talk because of the creatures, so therefore there's a lack of communication going on, and I'm what's going on here? And there's some things that I wish would have been explored more, certain characters and their history, and Murphy, that's the actor, right? 28 Days Later, and the Batman movies recently. His character is introduced here. He's a long friend from back before the invasion and whatnot. They bump into him, and we get to know him a little bit. I just wish that character would have been explored more. And there's not enough Emily Blunt in this movie, really. Like, she kind of takes a back seat for a good while there. Like, she kind of just goes out on her own at one moment, and then it takes a good while to get back to her. And, comparing this to part one, I feel like this one it lacks the emotion and that gut punch that the first one had. It doesn't have, like, the same, like, family drama. This one's very light on the family drama aspect. That's what the first one was. Like, the first one's an alien movie, but it's more of a family drama too. And that stuff is great. And this one, it's missing a lot of that family drama and the emotion and heart. It has some heart and some emotion, but compared to part one, it's lacking. But final thoughts, I think that if you enjoyed the first one, that you're going to like this one. It's not as great as the first one, but it's pretty good. It's still a very good movie. Just lots of great suspense and good performances and just a great cast. So I gotta say, when it comes to A Quiet Place Part 2, when it comes out to DVD and Blu-ray, definitely go out and buy it. And those are my thoughts on A Quiet Place Part 2. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Do you think it's better than the original? Let me know. And would you like to see a Part 3? I think they might be doing that. And at least that's what I think I read. So let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.